The words may be inappropriate interjunctions such as and, well, but, so, and you know. Sound may be As an accounter, it's my responsibility to submit my report to the general evaluator during the end of the meeting. Thank you. Over to you, general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand, for explaining your roles, responsibilities. Next comes the grammarian. Today's grammarian role is being handled by Toastmaster Saravanan Bellandurai. He works as a lead engineer in GGS Engineering Service. His hobbies are playing badminton and listening to music. Please welcome Toastmaster Saravanan Bellandurai to explain his roles and responsibilities.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Can I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. Good morning to all Toastmasters and guests. Today I am going to do the role of grammarian for this today's session. My roles and responsibilities of today's sessions is the role of grammarian is to note down the usage of good language, unique phrases and errors in the language. I will also note down the usage of the word and theme of the day by all speakers. At the end of the meeting, I will submit my report to General Evaluator. Thank you. Hand over the session to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Saravanan. With this, I end my introduction as well as my tag team introduction. Over to you, TMOD.
Thanks, General Evaluator Toastmaster Saravanan, for explaining to us the role as such in terms of what all evaluations will be done. Before moving on to the session, I would like to ask the audience, so what do you think is one thing that kind of makes us humans superior to all the animals, or because of which we as humans are able to rule over all the animals? Though we are not the fastest, we might not be the strongest, or maybe any other aspect. There are different other animals in the on the planet Earth, but then still we are able to rule over most of the species that are existent on this planet. So anyone would like to guess?
Yeah,
scientific intelligence.
Sorry,
I was saying sixth sense. I was saying
sixth sense. Okay, anyone else?
intelligence.
If you see
Intelligence. Yeah,
animals,
that's sorry.
If you take animals, the animals
Yeah.
have only the emotional brain. For if you
Correct.
take the human, we have the intellectual brain called as cerebral cortex. That is a major difference. That's why.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thanks, Toastmaster.
Yeah,
I think intelligence is something which kind of makes us rule over all the other animals in the planet. But I believe this intelligence, without the capability to communicate it to other humans, would not have made our actions possible. See, intelligence is one thing, but then able to communicate and get the work done from somebody else who's staying at a location which is far off, that's what makes our lives easier, and that is what is making us to communicate to somebody who's even sitting in let's say US or somewhere else. So communication is something that kind of differentiates us, though the animals will also communicate, the apes will communicate with their some sort of echoing sounds and all. But then as humans, we are able to express our thoughts in a better way, and able to make the other person understand what we are feeling and what instruction we want to give it to other human beings. So that is where in terms of human development, I feel we have improved a lot. So to discuss more on this topic, let me share my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, just hold on. Yeah, so talking about communication, we started off with smoke signals when we started with the civilization, the tribals to send instruction to the other tribes in case if they wanted any help, they will use a smoke signal as such. So this was very primitive kind of signal without anything. Later on, when we wanted to improve what message we are sending to the other party, we kind of started using pigeons or human messengers who will basically carry the message with them. So this was another way. But then later on, we moved on into the technological aspects, and we tried to use technology to improve what message we are communicating, as well as the speed at which we are communicating. So telegraphs were invented somewhere in the start of the 19th century, and then from telegraphs we moved on to telephone, which added a voice mechanism to transfer voice from one place to another, so that the communication is more immersive as such. And now we have smart devices like laptops or mobile phones. Like for example, I am sitting in and around Gorakhpur area in UP, and I am able to communicate with you guys and able to share my thoughts. So this is where the technology has kind of enabled us. So let me summarize for you guys. So communication experience has improved in three aspects: speed, voice capability, and video capability. So what is next? What can be the next improvement that we can look in terms of the communication? So that is where this metaverse comes in. It's more about giving a more realistic experience. Now that we have voice and the what do you say, video capabilities, the next step in terms of improving how we communicate as human beings is about using metaverse, which is more like a utopian world wherein you will be able to log into a system, go to any place at any point of time, talk to anyone in a more personal manner, like as we do when we meet in person. So that is where we are looking in terms of metaverse, and this is definitely coming up. So a lot of people are investing. So yeah, that's about the metaverse. Why do we need metaverse as such? So we'll with this we'll move on to our first section, which is more about the prepared speeches, and we have our first speaker, Toastmaster Sriram, who is past president and has played other roles like mentor pool coordinator, YLP coordinator, assistant division director of Division H. He is a product head by profession at Secure Solutions and provides data security solutions based on Microsoft Azure technology. Music is his pastime, and he is passionate to network with like-minded people. When I asked him what is his idea of the theme for today, he said, "My metaverse is the digital era," and rightly so, because he's coming from similar kind of technology background. I believe that's where we are. So he's going to deliver his pathway speech from innovative planning, level 5 project 2. Before I call upon Toastmaster Sriram, I would like to uh, call upon his evaluator, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, to please take us through what is the speech objective. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Rahul. My target speaker, Toastmaster Sriram, is giving his Level 5 Project 2 from Pathway Innovative Planning. Reflect on my path. That's a project, and the title is RRR, Triple R. It's interesting. The purpose of this project is for the member to reflect on his or her growth during the completion of an entire path. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to share some aspect of his or her growth during the completion of the path. Timer, please note the time is from 10 to 12 minutes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, for setting out the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Shriram, RRR Toastmaster Shriram.
Yeah. Thanks for addressing me that way, Team Modi Rahul. And of course, thanks to Toastmaster Priya. Timer, before you start, let me just do a screen share and check if it works fine. So, everybody able to see my screen?
Yes, Toastmaster Sriram, we can see.
Adjusting the tab to the box. Okay. Just a minute. Just checking. Yeah. So I'm just moving the screen down. I'm not sure, right? Yeah. So timer, you can start now. So very good morning, Toastmasters, fellow friends and guests. Now, like our team would said, this is the digital era, and metaverse is the new thing. And today, I would like to reflect on my pathways. Before that, have any of you done exploration of your past? Yes, I see a few responses. Like everybody, I also had opportunity to reflect on my past, and that's how I'm presenting today. And I would like to call it as triple R. What is triple R? All of us start thinking about movies, right? Yes, but this triple R is slightly different. What is it? Reflect on your past, reckon with your present, reap in the future. So I'll cover my entire speech accordingly. And so coming to my learnings from the pathways, I started this pathway about like a year and a half back. And the icebreaker speech which I gave was slightly different. And what I did is like I took an egg and I broke it and told I broke my shell and then shared my personal experience. And it was a different opening, and I could see a lot of feedback from audience, and it was a pleasant experience I had. And the project 2 is, as you know, it has got 3 sub projects. The first one is you need to give feedback or evaluate somebody, and use it as a self-reflection. Give a speech, then the second speech should be, you need to get the feedback from the first speech and incorporate it and give it. And that's how I learned what is self-reflection. What a great concept in pathways. And coming to the researching and presenting, I had opportunity to explore my analytical skills. And I took a totally different topic, which is unrelated to me because I'm not in the financial domain. So I talked about how to build trust with wealth. And for this, I collected a lot of research data and presented it. And it was a pleasant experience. And I also got good feedback from the audience. The next project, which I did, is on leadership style. And, as you know, every speech before you give, you need to log into the Toastmaster International. And there is a set of assessment which you need to do before, you give your speech. And that's how I had an opportunity to assess myself on my leadership skills. There were 8 leadership styles, and my leadership style predominantly worked out to democratic leadership style. And that's how I gave a speech on 8-in-1 and how I was able to incorporate that in my both Toastmasters and professional environment. It was a great experience. Next speech was on how to connect with the audience. Like everybody, connecting with the audience, diverse knowledge and skills is really a challenge. And because we come up with a specific skill, and are we competent enough to communicate what we want? And that's what I learned by giving a speech. And here I took a very common topic on negotiation and how to win negotiations. That was a topic I gave, and it was well received. The next project which I handled was on capitalizing on Toastmaster mentoring. And mentoring, as you know, is the fundamental of any Toastmaster speech. And whenever a speaker joins, so you need to talk with the mentor, and that's how I had opportunity to work with different mentors there are a lot of senior Toastmasters in MTC even today, and thanks to DTM Jaker, DTM Rao, DTM Pat, DTM Sridhar, the pillars of MTC who guided me in this presentation. It was a grand success as well. The next project which I did was on how to give a proposal, and it's a very learning experience for me now, because being in an online meeting, I chose a specific topic, the hybrid meetings itself, and how to make it more effective and more influential. And that was the idea. And thanks to DTM Jaker, who gave a lot of valuable inputs, and I was able to incorporate that and give this as a speech. The next thing I can say about storytelling, was a great experience. I chose my personal experience to share my, topic on tonic to success, and it was well received again. And the next topic which I gave was on the understanding of humor. As humor is something which is always a difficult situation for me. I was very skeptical about experimenting in front of the audience, but this I consciously took it and made a impact. The topic which was Galata Kalyanam, and it was well received, and thanks to audience on this applause. And I would say that so much so that Toastmaster Arun recommended me to give this in a contest. And first time I gave a speech on a contest, and of course that was a great experience for me as well. The next thing is project which I gave is about this managing project success. As you know, every project has its own challenges, and that's how I took YLP as a project and presented it. It was well received. And the next project was on crowdsourcing. Crowdsourcing is something very evolving field, and I use this public relationship strategy to experiment this and present it as a speech in my club, and it was well received. So whatever I learned across from different senior Toastmasters, districts and division level, was able to present it as a public relationship strategy. And implementing HPL project is always a great challenge, and thanks to guidance committee who really contributed to this and making it a grand success. Overall, learning have made me from utopia stage to a better stage now, and I feel confident that I can deliver speeches both professionally as well as in Toastmasters. And coming to the feedback, as you know, feedback is a very important aspect in Toastmasters, and every time you get a feedback, you need to keep improving, and that's what I try to do. And adapting to online meetings was a challenge. Like I speak today, camera is the face of audience in an online meeting. Many times I don't look at the camera, and I try to give a speech, and later on I try to adapt it, and that's how one of the feedback I had. Practice voice modulation. So giving a monotonous speech is something which I was initially doing, but I later on came out of it with a lot of feedbacks. Sticking to the core message is very important. Now, as you know, any speech, you need to stick to the core message, and that makes the message, speech more powerful. Sometimes it is also good to sprinkle the message. That's what I also got a feedback across, so that the audience, we're able to connect it, the audience frequently. And visualizing and talking is something which I also learned. I would say the psychological aspect is that you need to visualize before giving any talk, and visualize will help you to activate your non-verbal actions. It could be your hand gestures or facial expressions. That way I learned a lot. And of course, having a grand opening is always great in any speech, and that's what one of the feedback I had, so that it will improve the curiosity among the audience. And sharing always personal experience, improving body language, storytelling approach, and of course relating to your profession. All this matters. And next thing I can talk about is this interrupting your catchy words. Like in today's speech, I talk about triple R, and people grab audience attention. And of course, facial expressions and alliterations. Alliterations are punch dialogues. I would recommend you to use as much in speech, because that's one of the feedback I had. And of course, thanks to Toastmaster Pat, who really helped me in this kind of alterations. And overall, I would say, feedback, I was able to grow from nowhere in utopia to good, probably, and probably I can think about going to the great part later. And coming to takeaways to work. So just to let you know, I'm a product manager, and I have dealt with a lot of products, demos, and road shows, and all these workshops was really helpful because I was able to implement what I learned in Pathway, particularly researching and presenting, and connecting with the audience, conveying an idea, also idea on how and when that I learned and from the Pathways. And I also had to benchmark products, and that's how I use these researching and presenting skills to implement here. And handling crisis is something very important aspect which I learned from the Pathways. In a real situation, what happened is that I had to come across a situation where there was some license violation, and there was a legal notice for which I had to respond, and I did it effectively and make it an overall solution more amicable and meaningful to the customer. And that way, all this was possible purely because of my YLP learnings I had in Toastmasters. And finally, I can say about leveraging public relationship strategy. Like I said earlier, crowdsourcing is an important aspect. And in the Asia Pacific region, in the product, I was able to market the product better, all because of the public relationship strategies from the different stakeholders, involving them at the right point in time. And it was a great experience. Overall, it made me from good to better in my work profession. So all I can say is, friends, follow this triple R. What are they? Reflect on your past. Try to understand the mistakes you have learned from there, and reckon with the present. What I mean reckon is consider whether it can be used and add it to your present, and reap the benefits in the future. So audience and my dear Toastmasters are ready to implement triple R. Go ahead, please. So what do you, Timo?
Yeah, thanks, Toastmaster Sriram, for that wonderful speech. And it's always good to have a key takeaway: reflect, reckon, and the third one is basically look into the future. Basically, so thanks for that, delivering that wonderful speech. In fact, when I looked at your topic RRR, I messaged you also. Congratulations! I thought it's something on the movie RRR, but then to
Yeah, I think you're on mute.
You are not audible.
Yeah, we are not hearing you.
Please unmute.
Yeah, now it's better. Yeah. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Still, it's not audible.
Yeah.
Maybe because of your headset. Yeah. No.
We can remove the speaker. I mean,
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Yeah, we'll move on to our next speaker, which is Toastmaster Prabhat. He is basically a mechanical engineer with 12 years of experience in Thermex Limited. He loves to explore new places, and he loves playing table tennis. And interestingly, his views on metaverse will be the future, and it is going to change everything. Metaverse will allow us to learn, collaborate, and express in better ways. So that coming in from a mechanical engineer, when he's speaking so highly of the technology, that speaks a lot about what is metaverse all about and how it is going to change our lives. So before calling on Toastmaster Prabhat onto the stage, I would like to call his evaluator, Toastmaster Nikhil, to explain to us what are the speech objectives today. So over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil. Thank you.
Mr. Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today, Toastmaster Prabhat is acting as the table topics master on the pathways persuasive influence. And based on the level 2, project 2, active listening, his session will be there. The purpose of this project is for the members to demonstrate his ability to listen to what others are saying. Timer, please note that as table topics master, Toastmaster Prabhat doesn't have a time limit. All the best, Toastmaster Prabhat, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day. We could not hear you.
We can't hear it.
Rahul, hello.
Not audible. Maybe you should rejoin.
No, we can't hear you, Toastmaster. Okay, so I will start. So thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, for giving me the opportunity to play a role of table topic master today. Fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. Table topic is an interesting session which will support the speaker to improvise their speaking skill, and it will actually support the people to think on their feet. It will actually help us to develop 4 important skills, which are listening, thinking, organizing, and just speaking. So this table topic will not be actually only for the Toastmaster. This table topic is for future Toastmaster as well. So in this case, I would request our future Toastmaster to please participate in this table topic. So with this, I would like to start the table topic session today. So I am just sharing my screen. Yeah, if you can see the screen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so in this, I would like to call up on stage our first speaker as our senior Toastmaster, Toastmasters, Sriram sir.
Oh, okay.
Yes, sir. So this is a picture of something. You just have to think about that for a few seconds, and after that, if you are ready, you can.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, good. Thank you for the time. I can start now. As I see the picture, one thing I understand is that, we are connecting our mind to vision. And definitely, it's a great topic and visual as well. And in real life, how many of us have actually, thought about, connecting our mind to what we see in the real world. And see, when we are born, right? Of course, we are seeing a totally new world, including me, right? But that time, the perspective is very different. But as age goes by, we tend to get disturbed with the outside environment, and eventually, seeing all the whatever the sufferings, and that one makes us think differently. But are we in a position to correct our thoughts? Having the right thoughts makes you to see the right things in the right perspective, and that's what I can say as a message here. So let's do that. Even in my days when I was in my first company, I always think about it. Many times, we get a lot of negative feedback sometimes, but if we lose our confidence, that's it. Then we cannot move forward, right? So try to understand from that and see what are the positive things we can take forward, and try to visualize the world that way, and that creates a better opportunity for you to scale up the ladder. What do you, TD Master?
Thank you so much, sir, for such a wonderful thought on this visualization. We should be visualizing our vision, and we should be focused on that. We should not be thinking about the outside people. If people are giving us a negative feedback, we should not be thinking about that. We should be focused all the time, and this will be helping us to improve ourselves. So thank you so much, sir. With this, our next speaker I would like to call upon stage is Toastmaster, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rahul.
Hey, thanks, Prabhat.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thanks.
So for you, the topic is the difference between the metaverse and the virtual reality. Difference between the metaverse and the virtual reality. Toastmaster Rahul.
Yeah, that's a very interesting topic, and you've got me right-handed here. Okay, so it's one and the same thing, more or less, metaverse and virtual reality, because metaverse kind of utilizes virtual reality. Virtual reality is how we define the technology, which is the base for the metaverse as such. Metaverse is much more than to the virtual reality, because it's not only about going into a virtual world. Virtual reality is actually there. If you look at it, there are some video games which we are able to play in a 3D, or we are able to experience through these gadgets, HoloLens and all these gadgets. We are able to wear it and visualize things in a 3D manner. But then what is metaverse? Metaverse is something which adds intelligence to this virtual reality to make it more immersive. And as I was speaking during like my introduction of the speech as such, it's more about how do we communicate to each other. Like, for example, we are having this session online, and we are looking into a computer screen. What if I change the experience of this meeting, and if I make you feel like you're sitting in a meeting room with me, and I am also sitting in a meeting room with you, and if I am able to whisper something into your ear which is not visible to the person who's sitting far off, so that kind of real experience, like you might have seen a movie Matrix, wherein people will get connected into the matrix system, and they are able to actually feel as if they are in a real world. So So that is what metaverse is all about. It's about adding intelligence. It has 3-4 different components which I spoke about also: artificial intelligence, blockchain, as well as virtual reality. So it is much more add on to virtual reality as such. So over to you, Toastmaster. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rahul. It was superbly explained about the difference between the metaverse and the virtual reality. The thing is that I was also under impression that metaverse and virtual reality are the same thing, but no. The way you explain it has given me actually idea that metaverse is superior to the virtual reality. So thank you so much for explaining us about this. So the next speaker I would like to call upon stage is Toastmaster Sarvanan. Toastmaster Sarvanan,
Yeah, I'm here.
are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Toastmaster Sarvanan, the topic for you is this. You can see this picture. You can think about this, and after that you can say something on this, please.
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity, Prabhat. I got some thoughts on this image which you have shown. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As I see the image shared by Mr. Toastmaster, Table Topic Master Prabhat, I could see that metaverse helps the old people to be engaged with their thoughts as well as through some means. Because in our country as well as all over the world, once we are above that super senior citizen stage, hardly we get any audience or any care for these old people. So they are neglected, they are out of their game professionally as well as in family wise. So this concept of metaverse, I could think that it will help these people get occupied in their mind and help them interact with faraway people and have a meaningful life. Other than that, because I happen to know that in Japan, the healthcare division is so much big for taking care of elders. So everyone who have a degree in nursing are having an opportunity in Japan and other developed countries just to take care of elders. So in that perspective, I think this metaverse or this virtual reality will help them have a better life by sharing their thoughts and their experiences through a metaverse reality. Thanks for the opportunity. Over to you, the topic, Mr. Prabhat.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarvanan, for giving such a wonderful idea about this picture. This picture was about the senior people because after 60, most of the senior people will feel like they are feeling alone, nobody there to support them, help them. So this metaverse will be supporting them to engage themselves with the people outside the world as well. So thank you so much. So with this, I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Priyadarshini. Toastmaster.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Priyadarshini, are you there?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, Toastmaster Prabhat. Yeah.
Yeah. So the topic for you is this picture. You can see this picture, and you can think about this, and according to that, you can express your views on this.
Okay. Thank you for the topic, table topic master, Toastmaster Prabhat. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So that was to me, that looks like a boardroom, maybe a boardroom, which is eventually will be in a metaverse environment, since it is all related to metaverse and virtual reality. I'm assuming it will be like that. So way back, maybe 10 years back, we used to have most of the meetings in person. I mean, everybody used to join in the boardroom and everybody used to say face to face. I mean, 10-15 years back, everything happens in the at least major discussions, major decision making discussions, meeting all used to happen in a boardroom where everybody used to get together, travel, and come from different parts of the world. If at all there is some decision has to be taken, everybody has to be there in a common room and meet face to face and talk. As we progress today, or maybe in now we have Zoom meetings and all, maybe in future what we are perceiving is, I can be at my home or I can be at my location, my client can be in his own location, but we'll get a feel that everybody are in the same boardroom. Maybe physically, we'll get the same feel as physical interaction. We'll get the same feel of looking and talking to them. The same thing which we can actually incorporate in a boardroom field, we'll get it in future. Now, the online meetings also have some kind of limitations, but that limitation will also be removed, and this metaverse will be able to bring out that boardroom experience so that the decision making will be smooth with less expense. There will not be any travel, no difficulty in traveling, and that will not be there. So that is what I assume by this, or I think from this picture. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Priyadarshini, for explaining about this. This picture was actually for the office, and you smartly explained about this. This was for the future of the offices in the virtual reality, or in the artificial intelligence. So yeah, thank you so much for explaining it. So the next speaker I would like to call upon stage is Toastmaster Nikhil. Nikhil?
Yes, I'm there.
Are you there? Yeah.
Yes.
So the topic for you is how the metaverse can shape the industry.
Okay.
How the metaverse can shape the industry.
Okay, fine. So, fellow Toastmasters and guests, good morning. Thank you so much, Professor Prabhat, for this topic. So, how metaverse can affect industries? If we go back down in history, I think we all would have heard about the industrial revolution. That was a time when instead of people, machines started working. And then today, in place of that machines, we have got robots working. And that day is not so far, as Toastmaster Prabhat and PM Modi are saying, that everything will be done without moving a speck, without us people getting involved. And then definitely, as the topic said, I strongly agree that metaverse are the future of industries as well. Probably we just have to think for a design. In the next 30 minutes, we would be getting it delivered by a machine with artificial intelligence with metaverse. Probably, as you said, industries, meetings, as earlier Toastmaster Priyadarshini said, it's the next future as well. Industries in the same sense, I cannot really say for the mechanical part, but actually the technical aspect at present is already been working out from here. And then metaverse added to that would be advantage for those kind of people. For other industries, that would be a challenge to incorporate metaverse as to how people interact. The humanities background, the social sciences background. For others, that would be an object reality. Thank you so much for this topic. Over to you, Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Nikhil, thank you for explaining about the impact of metaverse in shaping the industry. Yeah, in the future, metaverse will have an impact on the industry as well. So thank you so much for that. And with this, I would like to call upon stage our next speaker, Toastmaster. Or else I would call upon stage some of the guests. Suresh Kumar. Mr. Suresh Kumar.
Suresh Kumar is our Toastmaster.
Okay, Toastmaster Suresh Kumar. Toastmaster Suresh Kumar. I think he's not there. So next I will be calling upon stage Toastmaster Haikab. Toastmaster Haikab, are you there? Hello. Hello. Hello.
He has some audio issue, it seems.
Okay. So the next we have speaker Toastmasters Sarvanan. Sarvanan today.
Yes.
Sarvanan. Yeah. So the topic for you is the education in the metaverse. How will our education be
thank you
in the
for
metaverse? Yeah.
Thank you, Toastmaster and Tabletop Master Prabhat, for giving this opportunity. Actually, metaverse is a future world. Both good things and positive and negative things are happening. So metaverse is the important one. So future learning could be metaverse is important to the world for both virtual and augmented reality world. Both combine the word for metaverse. So metaverse is future importance for future. So metaverse education is need for future world. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sarvanan, for explaining about the importance of metaverse in our education system. It will be supporting our education system, because by using the metaverse, we can explain our student about the thing which student will not able to visualize or think about. So it will be helpful for our student as well. So the next speaker I would like to call up on stage is guest Senthil. Senthil?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. So the topic for you is, you can see, will the metaverse allow you to collaborate and communicate in a better way?
Okay, that's a beautiful topic.
Yeah.
Will metaverse allow me to communicate and collaborate in a better way? Yes. Like everything that we see in our life today, even the Android mobiles, the 4G, 5G technologies that we are using today, when everything came into the market, when everything came into the evolution, there is always a good side to it and there is always a bad side to it. Now we are talking about metaverse today. When we look at the good side, good aspects about it, yes, there are so many things. There is a lot of flexibility. You don't need to go to the real places. Like you are sitting in India, if you want to meet a client in London, it was pointed out that we don't need to travel all the way to London. We can sit here in India and we can interact with our client over there. And the previous topic that was given, like children going to the school, yes, that was another advantage. Children doesn't really need to go to the school. They would be at their home and they would be interacting with the other kids at the school. And it will be like a virtual environment for them, like a typical school. And maybe I'm also thinking in a different way, like even the government schools today, they do not have a good infrastructure. But think about a virtual world. There is no limitations to a government school or a private school. They can build anything around, given that it is a virtual world. So there are a lot of positives, a lot of scope for collaboration. And when I see the other side of it, when this COVID came in and when we all were in our homes locked up, see how we felt it. Virtual meetings were there. It was a good thing that we are communicating, but how did we felt on our inner side? We felt like there's something lacking out there, right? When we were restricted from meeting people, when we were restricted from gathering around in groups, we felt something was missing. We felt that it was not that much of a satisfaction when we were working from home. Yes, it was great when we started off, but we really missed our offices. We really missed our colleges and schools, right? And that will be the thing that when metaverse comes in place. We'll be missing the real places and we'll be missing the real people. So that's the way I see it. Thank you, and over to the table topics master.
Thank you so much, guest Senthil, for explaining about the metaverse, which will be helping us to collaborate and communicate in a better way. There are some problems because of the metaverse. We may miss the real people. We may feel like we do not have that interaction with the people who are actually outside. So this will be the disadvantages, I can say. But other than that, we will be having so many other advantages which will be supporting us to improve our skills. So thank you so much for explaining it. So now I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Muthu. Muthu. Toastmaster Muthu.
Yes.
Yeah. So the topic for you, how the metaverse is different from the internet. How the metaverse is different from internet.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prabhat, for your topic. How the metaverse is different from the internet. I see, actually, even it's metaverse, we need internet. So we need to communicate, we need to transport an image from one part to another. So it is, so it involves internet, but the thing is, it is kind of a virtual thing. So we need virtual image in transportation. So we need, we are communicating virtually. That's a very important thing, because even today we are not able to hold the offline meeting. So we are conducting the online meeting. So when it is kind of a virtual thing, it's like it will be like a real thing. We'll get more exposure and kind of a real environment. But I see of the internet different from what we call metaverse. I think it's a part of the internet, is a part of the metaverse. Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Toastmaster Prabhat.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Muthu, for explaining about this. So, yes, we will agree with the statement which you made that internet is just it is from the metaverse only. I can say metaverse is actually advanced version of internet. In the metaverse, we can actually interact with the skeleton of people, but in the internet we will not be having the opportunity to do that. In the internet we can see only some pictures or images, but we can't feel that experience of interacting with the real people. So yes, thank you for explaining about this. So next, I would like to call upon stage Toastmaster Kriti.
Yes, Prabhat.
Yeah. So the topic for you is, you can see how we can celebrate our
This
marriages
is
in the
an
metaverse world.
okay. This is something which seems very interesting. So post COVID, we didn't even imagine the social virtual marriages and all. But during COVID, we had these virtual marriages. I've seen many of the news channels. They say without the bride and groom meet, they got married, and the limitations in this is they are in 2D. Maybe they don't have that feel, but in metaverse, I think that limitation will be fulfilled. uh, it can happen without even meeting in the physical space. Maybe like COVID, if any other pandemic or anything comes up, and people will find difficulty in meeting each other. So metaverse can create such a social platform where it can give the feel of meeting each other and treating people like we can do that social gatherings, even the marriage. And who can guess, future can bring anything, so which we are unexpected, but it is growing very fast. So we couldn't predict it, but this may happen in future, in the near future as well. Thank you. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you so much for explaining about the metaverse in the marriages and all. Yeah, it has been explained by you that it will be giving us a social platform where people can interact with each other. It will not require any physical meeting. We can actually avoid the physical meeting, and still we can interact with people. So yes, thank you so much for giving the ideas on this point. So the next, I would like to call upon stage guest Mohan. Mohan.
Guest Nainu Mohan.
Guest Nainu Mohan. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the topic for you is, you can see how the metaverse will impact the social media. How the metaverse will impact the social media.
Shall I start?
Yes, you can start.
Okay. The Facebook, Twitter, Instagram was started for connecting the peoples. In future, the metaverse will make more virtual connections for many peoples in different places, which helps the families to be together in as well as, and make more close to the loved ones also. The metaverse can impact the by today we have video calling, voice call in advance. In metaverse, we can virtually talk to the peoples. We can attend the meetings and uh, it's more really will keep the interact persons also. And thank you.
Thank you so much for explaining about the impact of metaverse on the social media. Yes, if we will be having the metaverse, then our social media will be having some of the advanced platform in which people can interact with each other and get to know about each other. So that would be great. So the next speaker, Toastmaster. Who is? I think everybody is.
You
given the
Anand
opportunity.
completed.
Not yet.
No. Okay, so Toastmaster Anand.
Yes.
Yes, the topic for you is
yes. How the
metaverse could impact your children's life.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, table topic master. Children's, right? They are the future leaders. In today's era, if you take the children's, as per the transactional analysis by Eric Byrne, what he says is that the personality is formed within 5 to 7 years. The later in life, throughout the lifetime, whatever the personality is formed in the formative years, that will start operating. Okay. If the person is very submissive, future, there may be a chance for submissive. If the person is very enthusiastic, future, later in life, he may be an enthusiastic person. If you take the digital era, this is a digital era. We have lost the touch with the reality, the human touch, the emotional touch that was completely missing because the virtual media is ruling the world. I can say that, right, in the organization, the exploitation is happening. Similarly, if the guys are attending the session through virtually, right, what will happen? Completely, their intelligence will be more. They can use the virtual media for using to play, right? Only intellectual development. What about the physical development? Nowadays, right, if you see that lifestyle disease are being day by day, it is increasing. It's alarming. But I'm sure that in future, if metaverse dominate, there will be a childhood lifestyle disease. Now itself, the recent research says that 11% of the population, the children, are pre-diabetic. It's alarming. In future, I'm sure that newborn, they have some lifestyle impact. I'm sure that. So everything has got the positive side as well as the negative side of the coin. Let us work only towards the positive and let us reduce the impact of the metaverse effect on children's. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you so much for explaining about the impact of metaverse on children's life. Yes, you have rightly said. Metaverse will make our children smart, intelligent, but it will make them physically weak. So we need to do something about them as well. We need to think about something. If we can do something for our children, because in the future, it is definite that we will be seeing the artificial intelligence and we will be seeing the metaverse, and this will be affecting our children's. So we should be doing something about the physical activities and all. So thank you so much. So the next speaker. So who would like to participate? I can see everybody has spoken, if I'm right. With this, I would like to thank to everyone, each and every speaker who had spoken on this metaverse thing, and they explained about the positive things as well as the thing on which we can improve upon to improve our improve us personally as well as psychologically both. So with this, thank you so much, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rahul.
Thanks, Table Topics Master, Toastmaster Prabhat, for conducting that wonderful session. Actually, it almost covered all the aspects of metaverse. So interestingly, a lot of people have a very strong opinion about metaverse as such. So before we move ahead with the session, just a couple of thoughts on the technology piece. See, each and every technology, if it is used by humans for making their lives, that's good. But then if the technology starts driving us, that is when the problem comes in. And same is the case with metaverse also. We have to embrace what good aspects are there of this technology coming into our lives, but then we have to take it with a pinch of salt. Just to give you a couple of examples, even on Facebook, people will fake profile, or on Instagram. There are so many fake accounts. So when we go into the metaverse world, people will start faking their true identity. And let's say if you're meeting somebody for a business meeting, and if you are not able to understand the real person, how do you conduct the business? Or you might get conned by such kind of persons, which is also the case in the current days. Also, people get conned. There are so many cases of people sending friend requests over Facebook, getting into their friend list, and then doing some sort of extortion and everything. So you have to look at the good aspects of the technology and use it to your advantage, and not to let the technology drive you. And one more aspect that I wanted to speak about is basically when it comes to technology like metaverse, you don't have to let it be addictive as such, because what we have understood based on our past experience, people will get addicted to things like Netflix, or Facebook, or any other social media platform, and it kind of hurts your mental health also. So now there was one survey that people are having less focusing power, or they are not able to focus on one thing because of all these virtual things which have come to our lives. So that in a way might help our own intelligence. We are talking about artificial intelligence. So the technology will get intelligent, but then we don't want our intelligence to go away, and our the way we think about it. So that's where we need to be a bit careful in terms of how we take this technology as such when we are moving into the future. So those are some of the views, and thanks to all. Toastmaster Preeti, do we need to take a break, or shall we continue to the evaluation?
We can take a break for 10 minutes.
Okay, let's so let's take a break. Can we come back by 11:45?
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
11.
Sorry.
Oh, it's 11:37.
Yeah, 11:45. Can we come back?
11:45. We can join back by
We can take. Okay. In the time, polls has launched for the best speaker and the best TD speaker. Please kindly vote. The link is posted in the chat window. Please kindly post your vote in the break.
Hi all, welcome back. Is everyone back? Can we have a hi?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, so shall we start?
Yeah.
Okay, so welcome back, everyone. After the break, I hope you were able to conclude with the break. And welcome back to the third section of today's business session, which is one of the most important sessions because evaluation is something which is there, which helps you look into the future and do some improvements what you have done in the current session. So that's more about this session. And to take this session forward, we have with us the general evaluator for today, Toastmaster Sarvanan. So let me call Toastmaster Sarvanan once again and to take the session forward. Over to you, Toastmaster Sarvanan.
Thank you, Team Modi. I welcome once again everyone for the meeting. A good speaker, a normal speaker to good speaker is transformed by working on the defects and lacunas which happens during the speech. So in order to make a normal speaker to best speaker, we need feedbacks. So we move on to the evaluation session. We had two speeches given by Toastmaster Sriram sir and Toastmaster Prabhat. So we move on to evaluation session. The first evaluator is Toastmaster Priya Darshini. She works as a program manager in Capgemini. She likes gardening and reading books. I welcome Toastmaster Priya Darshini to share her feedback over Toastmaster Sriram's speech.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Sharon. Congratulations, my target speaker, Toastmaster Sriram sir. Congrats for completing the project 2 in level 5. It was beautifully crafted. Let me congratulate you for that. Interesting title. You know, it actually triggered the curiosity in the beginning itself. What is this RRR? Different people had different thoughts, but you beautifully mentioned reflect, reckon, reap. And you started with it in the first slide, briefly introduced it, which is good, and beautifully explained the different projects and different paths. In fact, people who have halfway in any of the pathway can resonate how their journey as well. When you were describing each and every project, I was actually remembering or reminded of my project. What did I do in Icebreaker? What did I do in the? So it was well crafted. I mean, it was a beautifully, and it was motivating as well to see that you have completed these many projects. And I think many of people who have not started are at the beginning of the pathway, they will be motivated to complete all the projects. That way it was very good. The next slide was feedback and how you adapted. That actually you collected all the feedback. I think you got over the period of all the projects, which is neatly given, and you explained it well also how you adapted. I think that was also a takeaway for most of the people. All the feedbacks were given. The next was what was your takeaway for your professional life? That was also an interesting thing. How you incorporated those learnings in your professional, that was also very good. Beautiful presentation. The slides were very good. Finally, you connected the RRR, the reflect, reckon, reap, and concluded it effectively. One couple of things. One is I believe, maybe I felt that the opening was not as you practiced or as you rehearsed. Maybe somewhere something was missed out. Opening, maybe you had a draft which didn't come out. That's what I felt. You were in a hurry to set up the PPT and slides. The opening was not that effective as you would have practiced. I felt that. Maybe I'm wrong. But opening could have been more, as you say, it can be a very power-packed opening that can hook the audience to the rest of the presentation. That could have happened. And as an audience or as a fellow Toastmaster, I would like to understand what are the challenges you faced in the course of completing this pathway. So many a times I am stuck I'm not motivated enough to do the next one. So did you also had similar occurrence or similar situation? Was there any challenges personally you faced in completing the pathways? If yes, how did you overcome? That would have been a more interesting thing it will be motivating for the fellow Toastmasters. So those 2 points, if you had incorporated, it would have been a great speech. Now also it's a great speech. Thank you for sharing all your experience. Over to you, General Valvich.
You are on mute, Savanan.
Toastmaster Priya.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priya, for your feedback and report of the evaluation. Sir, I could see only most of them are positive points, few negative to become a best speaker in next sessions. Coming back to the second session, second speaker, Toastmaster Prabhat. Toastmaster Prabhat's speech is being evaluated by Toastmaster Nikhil. Toastmaster Nikhil pursues Master's MA History in Loyola College. He is interested in analyzing history. His hobbies are designing graphics, book reading, traveling, and researching. Over to you, Toastmaster Nikhil, for your valuable feedback on his Toastmaster Prabhat's performance.
Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, guests, and Prabhat, good morning. From the pathway persuasive influence, I got influenced. Thank you so much, Prabhat, for such persuasive table topic session. From the beginning, from the explanation to what table topic session is, until the end, I was connected. I think everyone would have something to do with this tiny crazy topic called metaverse. We don't really associate, but then it has got implications. Because if you see the topics, there was marriages, there was education, there were young people and old people too. So that was an all-around session. You did a great job even before uttering the first word. That is a presentation. Hard work would definitely be seen in there. The topics were creative and the slides were really, really beautiful. You were versatile, and then stage presence. If I have to think on that, you are not sitting as I can infer. You are standing, and then you try to move as much as you can from the possible space that you have in front of the camera. Now, definitely there will be certain things which you can work on. I could not find much, but then one thing, since the topics were varied in nature, and then the speakers were different too, maybe considering the depthness of the topic, your voice could have been modulated. For intense topics like the impact on education or maybe on the industries, we could have stressed there a bit. And then for light topics, for marriages, we could have been a bit jovial. And I think in that way, the link with the speaker would have been greater. Next, I would say, being a table topic master, and as per the pathway, you had to listen and then comment on every speech. You did that effectively. Sometimes you agreed, and at times you also presented your views. I would like to appreciate you for that. But then if we notice, that used to be a monotonous thank you. So I think a vocabulary addition can be made in that particular part. Maybe words like blissful, wonderful can be there. I think incorporation of that words after the speaker concludes, then that would be a great as the table topics master. Erstwhile, your language usage was adept. And then we also got to know that we have a technical wizard amidst us who knows metaverse much better than what we people can. So Prabhat, with your portrayal of topics, a beautiful picture of metaverse was drawn. I would like to appreciate for your hard work because delivering a speech week after week is not easy. You did that effectively. And then keep up with everything technically and seek such opportunities, nurture it and strike it again. Thank you so much, Prabhat. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Toastmaster Nikhil.
Thank you. Yeah, Toastmaster Nikhil, thanks for your feedback. And now moving on to the next stage, I request tag team report. First, I call upon Toastmaster Jacob to give up timer reports.
General Evaluator, it must share my screen. Is my screen visible?
Yes, you are visible. Sorry, screen is visible.
Yeah. The timer report is for the prepared speeches, Toastmaster Sriram sir took 11 minutes 25 seconds, and the table topics, Toastmaster Sriram sir took 1 minute 47 seconds. Toastmaster Rahul took 2 minutes 24 seconds. Toastmaster Saravanan took 1 minute 45 seconds. Toastmaster Priyadarshini took 1 minute 55 seconds. Toastmaster Nikhil took 1 minute 25 seconds. And Toastmaster Saravanan Velandurai took 50 seconds. Guest Sendil took 2 minutes 9 seconds. Toastmaster took Toastmaster Muthu took 1 minute 20 seconds. Toastmaster Preeti took 1 minute 19 seconds. Guest Nainu Mohan took 1 minute 10 seconds. And Toastmaster Anand took 2 minutes 18 seconds. On the evaluation, Toastmaster Priyadarshini took 2 minutes 30 seconds. And Toastmaster Nikhil took 2 minutes 46 seconds. Thank you. Now over to General Evaluator.
Thank you, Jacob, for your report. Now I call upon Toastmaster Anand to give away his counter report. Toastmaster Anand.
We could not hear you, Anand.
Anand, are you? You are in mute.
Now is it okay?
Yeah, now you are audible.
Extremely sorry. Yeah. So hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes.
During the prepared speech, Toastmaster Sriram, yes, used 11 and 20 and 20 times. And Toastmaster Sriram, during the table topic speech, he has used 6 and others 9 times. Okay. Then Toastmaster Rahul, during the table topic, 12 and 2 and Toastmaster Saravanan, 4 and 1 and. Toastmaster Priya, 3 Then Toastmaster Nikhil, 2 Toastmaster Saravanan, the grammarian, he has used 9 during the table topic speech and one repeated words, reality. Okay. Guest Toastmaster Senthil, he has used for 2 times. Toastmaster Muthu, he has used 6 times and 2 times so. Then other words, the thing is. Okay. Toastmaster Preeti, she used for once. And guest Nainu, she has used for 11 times and for 2 times and 1 long pause. All right. Myself, I am not captured. I have used fillers or crunches, but however, I am not noted. Toastmaster Prabhat, he has used 20 plus Okay. Toastmaster Priya and Toastmaster Nikhil, as a evaluator, speech evaluator, they haven't used any fillers or crunch words during their evaluation report. Thank you very much. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Anand, for your counter report. Now I move on to grammarian report. I request Toastmaster Saravanan Velandurai to give up his grammarian report.
Thank you, Toastmaster Saravanan. I just sharing the grammarian report now. Toastmaster Sriram using Sriram sir using today's theme of the day, Metaverse 1 time. Toastmaster Rahul using word Metaverse 4 times. Saravanan J using word Metaverse 5 times. Priyadarshini 2 times. Nikhil 5 times. Myself 4 times. Sendil Gust 1 time. Muthu 2 times. Preeti 2 times. Nainu Mohan for 3 times, Toastmaster Anand 3 times. Thank you.
Thank you, Taran Velandari, for your report. Now that ends the tag team report. Now I am sharing my evaluation of the entire meeting. I find the meeting is started at on time. I like the way TMOD brought out the theme of the day from the telegraph to the final metaverse. I found both the speakers have done their preparations well and they have executed it very well. In case of table topics, I found the topics were very much relevant to the theme of the day, and his visuals for the topics were also found to be very different and very nice. And he gave equal opportunity to all the speakers to attend the table topic sessions. Coming to the evaluation session, both the evaluators have given a very good report with full of positive things, with a little bit of negative comments to work upon for the next presentations. Before I end up my report, I wish to share an information which is related to our theme of the day. I happened to interact with my friend in Japan. He said that nowadays young generations are very much occupied with games and other stuffs, virtual stuffs, so that they are not inclined to live with real people. They are prone to live with toys which were very predominant in their games or other stuff, other video games or other stuffs, and they are buying that kit toys and they are living with it instead of living with the real people. I find it's a negative aspect of this metaverse or this virtual reality stuff which are affecting the younger generations. With this, I end my report. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rahul Dutt.
Toastmaster Rahul has an emergency. He left and I'll take over. So first of all, I would like to thank the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Rahul, for bringing out the word and the theme of the day. So a great congratulations to Toastmaster Prabhat, who included, as Rahul said, you included various aspects of metaverse in TT topics, and almost you covered everyone by giving topics to everyone. Now, Umutu, are the results ready?
Poll is going on, Priti. I request
Okay,
everyone.
I request everyone to please cast your votes. I'd also like to thank General Evaluator Roswasa Saravanan and all the tag role players, Counter Anand, Timer Jacob, and Grammarian Saravanan. Saravanan is doing the grammarian role for the first time and he has done it wonderfully. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, before moving on to the results, let's get the feedback from the guests. Nainu, can you please unmute and share the feedback?
Okay. This is my second session attending this Toastmaster. I have feel more comfortable than the first meeting. And knowing more about metaverse. Thank you for giving this such topic, and that's all.
Thank you so much, Nainu Mohan. Also, I would request everyone to go through metaverse today. So we have learned one word and a theme. So every week you will come to know a different theme and a different word. So you can go through and use the word in the future, maybe in your workplace or during personal conversation and so on. Guest Sendil, can you please share your feedback?
Sure, it was a great session. I could see like every single person who attended the meeting is given a chance to speak, which is very good in a Toastmasters meeting. And the complete structure of the meeting was retained and it was very well done. And it's a great experience for me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sindel. I request Nainu and Sindel to attend one meeting offline, maybe next week or in the future weeks. So you will get exposure and you'll be pleased with networking and so on. Thank you. So as I said, we have our XCOM meeting, XCOM election in the future, maybe in the first week of December. You can nominate for various roles. And if you think if you are good at designer and if you are good at social media management, you can nominate for VPPR role. And if you want to lead people or network, you like networking and talk to people, you can nominate for vice president membership, and all these roles will give you excellent exposure. So you learn many things by the end of one term for 6 months. So the opportunity is open for all. Please make use of it.
Sure, President.
Muthu, is the poll over? Hope you all casted your votes.
Hello. Preeti, results are ready.
Okay.
Best speaker, Toastmaster Prabhat.
Prabhat, congratulations, Prabhat, for the wonderful TT session. We all enjoyed your
Thank you
session
so
today.
much. Thank you.
Best TT speaker, Toastmaster Anand.
Toastmaster?
Toastmaster Anand.
Anand. I know. It is a known fact. Congratulations, Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you, Preeti.
Best evaluator, Toastmaster Nikhil.
Toastmaster Nikhil, congratulations.
Best tag role player, Toastmaster Anand, all counter.
Oh, thank
Congratulations, Anand.
Thank you, Preeti.
Best role player, Toastmaster Rahul, TM Modi.
Toastmaster Rahul. Congratulations, Rahul. He's not here. Okay.
We got two performers, Toastmaster Rahul, TM Modi, and Toastmaster Saranan Valandurai, grammarian.
Okay. Both Rahul and Saranan did a great job during their first time roles. Congratulations, both of you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Muthu.
Thanks, Preeti.
So with this, we came to a conclusion of this session. So I officially adjourn 643rd meeting of Madras Toastmasters Club.
Photo.
To next week, and we'll gather for a group photo.
Yeah.
Muthu, can you please take it?
Yes, Preeti.
Thank you so much. Thank you all. Bye.
Yeah, bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank you so much.